All right, offline review, Gold Gwen versus Jax. Let's open it up. Gwen versus Jax. It's a counter matchup. So in counter matchups, you just have to play to avoid them. What does that mean? It's just trading a lot, right? If he ganks top, you want to gank bot lane. If he ganks bot, you want to gank top. If he does dragon, you want to do grubs. You basically just want to avoid them at all costs, right? Here it looks like he's pathing up, so he did red Krugs Raptors. This is really good. Now you're pathing down, he's pathing up. The reason why this is a counter matchup because all of Gwen's damage besides her Q and her ult is autos. Obviously, even then her Q's most of her damage, but you need an auto to stack up the Q, right? And versus Jax, you can't consistently auto attack him because of his counter strike. So again, you just want to constantly avoid him. Um, Ignore Darius. He's mad that he got level 3 ganked. There's nothing you can do to stop that besides pathing up. But again, it's just just a 50-50. When you see this though, you should actually be happy because this means if you press tab, he has 12 CS, right? Let me go back. 100 pretty sure. Let me just double check. When you press tab here, you should see a CS. Actually, we'll see eventually. But no, you did. I'm pretty sure he's 12. That means he skipped his entire top, hit the gank. So you full cleared and did 6 camps, while he only did 3. So you're up camps of tempo and gold. Um, Go to respawn, play for respawn Raptors, into respawn Krugs. When you have 2 charges, make sure to smite. There's no reason to hold 2 smites right now, so I would just use a smite right now. And then you should just play to recall. As we are about to recall, we see that he's fighting, so we come hover. That's fine. And that Jack's getting stopped now. So let's watch this. This looks pretty good to start off with. I think you wasted Ghost. Actually, I mean it's fine. You ghosted to be safe. You want to make sure you're here. Didn't end up mattering, but this is really good. Wolf's Gromp, you RNG bot crab. Got the smite. Miss your ult. Just leave. Let me watch this one more time. Q, smite, boom. Nah, I mean there's no way you could have saved him. I think you just wasted ult though. Like when you see this you just ulted. This guy's obviously way too low to ever survive. And then Cass is right here, so it's a 2v1, so you'll never kill Jax in time. So just it sucks to use ult like this because you have a like level advantage. So even though your mid died, let's say this guy pulls dragon here, you can even though his mid's alive, yours dead, you could potentially stop him. Or you have counterplay just because you have ult and he doesn't, and you have level advantage. But now that you got your ult burn and all your HP burn, now for example, let's say he pulled dragon, there's nothing you can do to stop it. You just have to give. But it's not a big deal. I think right now when you see Jack's bot, you're playing to his top side. This is really good. I mean, this is what I talked about earlier, just trading. If he's bot, you go top. If he's top, you go bot. So you're just trading. Okay, let's watch this fight. Ult. If you're gonna ult, you should just use Ghost as well. Just use everything. Let me go back. What'd you W? You W'd a single team OQ. Yeah, it's just really bad W usage, honestly. Because if you have ult right now, none of this happens, right? Not only do you have like the extra 30 MR, but you can dodge Cass ult, or you could dodge Cass E, and you'd want to take all this damage into barely living. Both aggressive, but so far everything's just good. You full clearing well, trading well, took his camps well. Again, as Gwen pre-6, you're never really gonna gank. Gwen really wants to AFK farm until she has Nashers, and once she has Nashers, that's when she can finally start like forcing fights and forcing the stuff. So now that we have Nashers, now I think it's time. Now, finally, time to start taking fights. Maybe pull this dragon, fight Jax. You should ult immediately. This looks really good. Really, another. Normally, when I notice something once, I just say it. I don't really call it a habit, but this is already the second time where one of your ults goes haywire. Like I'm not. People miss skill shots. I'm not gonna be the skill shot police because we're all human. And I hate saying advice just like, oh, just hit more skill shots because it's like obvious. Like why even get a coach, right? But this is like a bit. This is egregious. Like, I'm not saying this to make fun of you. There is a difference when people, let's say you're here and this guy's here and you're playing Lee Sin or something and you throw a Q and it's supposed to be like this and sometimes they throw like this or sometimes they throw like this. That's one thing. Like, okay, that's still like close and yes, you're missing, but it's not that far fetched. This is inexcusable, right? And I say this like not to make you feel like shit. This just means I need you to like just be more conscientious about it. And once you like, it's different when you mess something up once or twice. It's like okay, like oh, just bad day, or but when you consistently mess it up, now it's like okay, I need to actually put steps forward to avoid this same mistake because this is insane, right? So just before you ult, just think twice before thinking it. Maybe try to swap the quick cast. I can tell you're either on normal cast or you're doing like the quick cast with indicator, whatever because you say you click it and then there's like a bit of delay. Um, so obviously all the best players play on quick cast, so take some time to transition to that. Like 99% of all pro players play quick cast. It's just better. It's for a reason. It's faster. It's easier to hit. Um, so he's also, this guy still died, but this stuff matters. You have to understand that because if you didn't miss your third ult, um, the Fury would have lived because Cass would have died earlier, and then Cass would get less damage off. So these things really do matter. I think also you should be just immediately starting this dragon instead of looking to gank bot. Again, Gwen's tools for ganking and fighting are her ult and her ghost. You have neither. You just use both of them. Their mid jungle is dead. If I'm you, I just immediately start this dragon. Not only will they not, if you just E over you're walking on a skull crab as well. So if you just stand here for a second, wait for your E over the wall, they won't see you start it because there's no, obviously you avoid the scuttle, and then you could just instantly start it. And with Nashers, you should want to start the dragon, but you walk over scuttle. They're obviously gonna run away because they see you, and then they just Peg's gonna put two and two together and be like, oh, I just saw Gwen run down, and now he ran back up, but I didn't see him walk on the scuttle, so I wonder where he went. So I'm gonna go check on her. I think if you just immediately pull the dragon without showing, really, a decent chance Pike wouldn't randomly come and check the dragon, and then you would just solo it. Right, I think even when Pike does come and check, you can just ignore him and keep hitting it. It's Pike's support, right? Again, their mid and jungle are just respawned, and you see their Aphelios on vision is like 10 seconds away, right? Do you think a support Pike is going to 1v1 you and you're full HP? It's not happening. You can just stand here. He can't throw the Q skill shot on you because this dragon's blocking, and if he ease in, then you'll just kill him. You're Nashor's Gwen. Why are you scared of this Pike? If it was moving, that'd be one thing, but if it is not moving, look at the minimap. He's standing still. So even though this Pike came, I think you could actually wait. No, Jax is already respawned. I mean, he's actually faster than I thought. Oh yeah, because I mean, you just have to pull this instantly. Like the entire advantage of pulling it is because Jax is dead for 12 seconds. So cast death for 22, and it takes like 10 seconds to run here. So if you start right now, cast won't be. Jax literally can't be here for like 22, 25 seconds. It probably takes like 15 seconds to solo it. So I think you just took way too long to do it. That's it. And again, I think if you start instantly, even if Pike came, Pike can't stop you realistically. Um, but yeah, I think that the takeaway again is just be more conscious. Like again, try to move to quick cast soon. A and B. Even if you're gonna stay on normal cast for now, or again the I know this the indicator thingy, whatever you want to call it. Just before you ult, just think twice. Just like your ult's a really high damage spell. You really don't want to ever like miss it that often, or especially miss the R. Missing the R1 is not a big deal. You can't miss the R3. R3 is so much. So just before you click it, just like be really sure it's your mouse is on them and or they're stunned or they're slowed or you smite them for the slow anything. But yeah, I think when you're playing for objectives, because the enemy team is dead, you just want to do it with speed so they don't respond. You're not doing this because you're stronger or you're weaker. You're doing this because Jax can't be here. That should be the main idea of why I'm playing the objective. And then obviously then because they see you leave, they end up doing it themselves, which I think is again a pretty big deal. I think again you're wasting. I don't care that this guy died. I know it looks like you get a kill here. I don't care. Again, the game plan is trading. You just saw him on vision do dragon. You know what that means? That means his entire top side's up. So why are we not just taking free Gromp, free Wolves? His blue's probably still down, but again, you're getting guaranteed Gromp Wolves. And then guess what? You're gonna base. You're gonna do Wolves, Gromp, base, and then you're gonna go Gromp, Wolves, and then boom, we are up 2 levels guaranteed. By then your ult's back up. Your Ghost is probably coming up. You already have 1400 gold. You do this and this, you'll have 1700 or like 1650. If you buy Riftmaker, you're gonna have Haunting Guys plus a Dark Seal. You're gonna be very strong. Or you could buy Storix plus like double Ampton or something. I think this is just you have no Ghost. Um, I just think there's no point to gank this guy. Again, you just saw this guy kill the dragon, right? And then you see Scuttle spawning. So what is he gonna do after Dragon? He's gonna do Scuttle. This isn't hindsight. This isn't me looking into the future and be like, oh wow, no wonder he's here. It's like I mean, you see him on a ward doing the Dragon. This is a ward you placed, by the way, and then you see on the map Scuttle spawning in 4 seconds, and then you see Raptor spawning in 4 seconds. So it's really high chance he's gonna do Scuttle into Raptors. So he's going to be here for the next 30 seconds. Um, so not only is that like a green flag to go for his top camps because you know where he's going to be in the next 30 seconds, but this also when you see Cass hovering the right side of the lane and you chase into her, this is not like oh my god what the fuck Jax is here. You should have to know that Jax is going to be here. You know. And again, we've already established that Jax counters you. So until we have like a really big CS, or I mean like XP and gold lead, we want to avoid them. Right now, you actually have a level lead. But again, I think look, you're one camp from level 10, and you could have taken 2 of his top camps here, and then you'd be level 10 while he's still level 8. That's a 2 level lead. Now that's big, right? Another thing is you have 1400 gold. This is a lot of money. Um, so I actually think if you spent this money and then went for this fight, and you get level 10 by then even if Jax is here, then it won't matter. You'll just be too strong to lose the fight, you know. So I don't know. Let's watch this though, for mechanics' sake. He flashes your Q, and yeah, you see Jax just completely fucks you. Even though you're up a level, he's still able to take you out. It ends up being worth 2 for 1. I just think that if you spent your money, got level 10, there's a 0% chance you would even die here. I think you 2 for 0 them, and be just beyond your way snowballing. You know, I think there's, I think tab eyes are a really bad purchase as well. Not really okay, not really bad because their fearless is 7-1, right? But I don't know, they have double AP as well. They have Timo's AP, Cass's AP. I know you're like, oh, he's 2 and 3 and he's 2-7. Why would I build for them? I'm not saying to build for them. I'm not saying to go. I'm not saying buy Mercs. I'm just saying again. A lot of times it's Gwen. Gwen's job is to kill them before they kill you. So a lot of times, if you had a choice to build Tabais and like Randuins, which both items hard counter Aphelios, or to have Sork's Death Cap, Gwen will always choose Source Death Cap because your job isn't to out sustain or outlive Aphelios or Jax. Your job is to one shot them before they one shot you, right? And by building full AP and going Riftmaker second or Shadow Flame and then Death Cap or and Sorix, that's what you do. I'm not saying to build Sorix here or to build Tabais. I'm honestly saying just sit on tier ones and just rush Riftmaker. Because here with this much money, like you could buy Leandri, Hunting Guys is 1300, and then you buy an Amton afterwards, and then boom, you're already over halfway to Riftmaker. You know, not a big a deal. Items are items. Gameplay is all that really matters. But I do think that again, like here, do you think Tab Eyes is what's going to enable you to kill him, or having ult and having more P? You know, again, I think as Gwen, is usually a rule where if you have no ult and no ghost, you're never going for kills. You're just farming, waiting for your ult, waiting for your ghost. I mean, you see how this is not possible to do without ult. It just or ghost. If you had ult or ghost, you just one of them. Preferably both, but just one of them. Without either, how is this guy ever dying? You don't have a slow. You don't have a speed up. It's just nothing. All you're doing is late to your top camps. If I'm Jax and I saw you bot, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start your buff on spawn, and you're literally not there to contest it. Also, so the rule of jungle. There's a rule of jungle. A known rule. Rule of jungle is play for winning lanes, don't play for losing lanes, right? It's better. It's don't try to stop the bleeding. It's push your leads, right? That's how jungle is. Now we press tab here, okay? I'll hold tab for a long time. Bot lane 0 and 9 combined score 0-580 0-4 thing. And then we look mid top 5-2 8-2. Okay, top up 3 levels. 8 to carry down 2 levels. The rule of jungle is always play for winning lanes. So, and you could do this even in your pathing. So instead of pathing down like this, wolves, gromp, I would path up towards the top. So I'd do like gromp, wolves, like this. You see how that's like an upwards path? Well, when you do wolves, gromp as a downwards path. The rule of jungle is always play for winning lanes, avoid losing ones. You want to play for 2v2s top because you win 2v2s because he's stronger than him. You want to play for 2v2s mid because he's stronger than him. You want to avoid 3v3s bot, you want to avoid ganking a bot. Sometimes you'll go bot just for the shutdown, but this guy doesn't even have a shutdown. So this guy is worth the same amount of gold as this guy, but this guy is 100 times easier to kill. You know. So I think you're just pathing. You see how you're pathing downwards here? It should be pathing upwards. So you're not even wasting time here. Because if you path upwards, you know where you'd be right now? You'd be where Nefiri is right now, right? And then guess what? You're 5-2 Nefiri, and you're 8-2 Darius, and you're 5-2 Nefiri who are fighting. You'd be here right now. And even though it would be a 3v4, there'd only be 3 of you and 4 of them. I think you'd win this 3v4 because again, these guys are just so much stronger than the opponents. It's like this is like a 1-17, but you think this guy's really worth a full champion? You have your ult back up too now. So I think if you and obviously the Fury's running because it's 2v4 is a bit excessive. But if you guys are ult here as 4, I genuinely think you guys will 3v4 them here, win the game. Boom, the next explodes on the spot. You literally quadra kill, boom, game's over, right? So Really important rule as jungle to always play forwarding lanes. Um, this is a bit like if like imagine this: you're confident to fight 2v1 now, but then you're but why we're not fighting 3v4 with our top mid, the fed guys. Also here at the very start, just instantly ult. You really want to charge up to your R2 R3 because your R1 does like no damage. So it's not even like you're Ring for damage. Imagine if you ulted earlier, this R2 would have been R3, which would have killed Jax. You get Triumph maybe, and then you'd be able to turn on the Pike instantly, you know. But then I think I think you just be healthier. You kill them beauty and you Triumph in time because it takes like a second to get the healing from Triumph. Um, so ult earlier. Also, just be here earlier, right? It's another example where like I don't think tab eyes really did anything here. It's also one of the things where I don't know. I think just like having it's not that they do anything. I think having the extra AP like or HP even haunting guys HP would be better for you there, right? It's also like if you're full HP, you probably still win that, but you went to this fight half HP because we lost half HP chasing the Philios for no reason, right? All these mistakes are the same. It's playing for the wrong lane. It's fighting without ult. Fighting without ghost. You know. Okay, let's watch this again. Yeah, like look at your. This is you see how your ult. That's why it's like again. I'm not. I hate. I'm more of a. Every coach has like things they specialize in. I'm more of like a macro coach that likes talk about pathing and decision making and macro. I don't like to learn about mechanics and skill shots because again, no one chooses to miss skill shots. But this is really egregious. This is not just oopsies. I'm kind of bad at doing skill shots. This is like, you know what I mean? It's not even close. You know what I mean? It's not even remotely close. It's not even far, if I'm being honest. Like so, you have to be thinking about it more. I don't know if it's quick cast problem or normal cast problem. Um, really like simple thing I always give people when it comes about getting better at skill shots is you see how this is your mouse when you're throwing it. This is where you just input it. I always say put your cursor over their character model, and then in League when you put your cursor over the enemy, your cursor literally turns red. It highlights, right? So I always say when throwing skill shots, just wait for your mouse to be highlighted a different color, and then press the button, and then your skill shot accuracy will increase tenfold. Okay? Because this is with the fourth ult already, where you're missing more. You only have 3 ults and you're missing more than you're hitting. That's really that's really insane. Um, okay, but Pike suicides. God bless. Okay, nice fight. A small thing on the tab eyes explanation, by the way. Gwen is such an insane user of like Riftmaker and Conquer that a lot of times like she's a rare champion where the more damage she does, the safer she is. Because the more damage she does, the more she heals. So a lot of times, like if she had a choice from like Warren's Mill, which is 1,000 gold, or Large Rod, which is 1,200 gold, sometimes the Large Rod will literally end up healing you more than the Warren's Mail would block in a fight. You know, that's why I'm so against these tab eyes. Again, if it's like one of those things where like they're full AD and it's like 20 Ophelios 20-0 fucking Nar top, 20-0 Zen mid. That's a different story, right? It's just one of those games where they're so mixed. AP top, AP mid, even their support, which is AD, has a lot of CC, his E and stuff, right? And his Q. And even Aphelios, even he has some slows and CC, like his graviton gun, you know. And the problem is, you might be like, oh, but Jax is 82. The thing is, Jax is like 30% AP damage. So that's why it's like even less. You hit the third. You hit the again, same thing with this. All you fully. Hey, this one was close to be honest with you, but you get the idea. I do think you're kind of too willy nilly with your ult. Again, Gwen's like super ult dependent. So when you kind of use your ult here, I don't see any chance you guys are killing these guys. It's just you and support. Support's like again, this guy's like 0-9, so you don't even count him as a champion. So you're basically 1v2 here, right? And this is the strongest member. So I wouldn't be opting into 1v2 against the strongest member with no ghost. So I just wouldn't even use your ult here. And I think you're just using it like super willy nilly. And again, since your ult's really important to your kit, like imagine if you had ult right now. Maybe you look like you still kill this guy, but maybe if you had ult, you could play to kill the Jax too, you know? Uh, but nice. That was a good kill on that Philios. Pull Otacon instantly. I like this Otacon. It's really, really good. This Otacon's probably the best play you've done all game. A lot of times, I even have to teach like Masters players and Diamond players that in mid game, even getting a single kill, you don't have to get. A lot of people think they need 3 kills or 4 kills to pull a Dragon or Otacon. All it takes is a single kill just to make them have 45, and you can instantly pull any objective in the game. Baron, Otacon, Elder, anything, you name it. So the fact that you killed Bessa, I'm sorry, Philios, and you instantly spamming Otacon, really, really good. This was awesome. This is literally 20 minutes, the best thing you've done all game. So good job. Chase this guy. I like how you keep your ult because you know you could kill him without ult. This is really good. Good job. See, this is a good example. Like before, you were using your ult willy nilly, but holding it here proves to me that you understand how important it is. Otherwise, why would you hold it? So this is good again. Really good. This is also really good. Like Gwen is one of the only, not many junglers can split push, but she is one of the best junglers in the game at split pushing. So really good split push. Got tower, got solo kill. I like how you don't greed for Gromp and you insta base your on time for Dragon. This is really good. I don't know what the fuck just happened. Someone else hopped on the account. Last 3 minutes is like a completely different player. Getting a pick on Philios, insta pulling Otacon, split pushing, basing for tempo so you're in time for Dragon, ult and ghosting, hitting every ult. You just hit both ults. That was perfect. You hit the storm too. You literally just turned like I'm not even like I mean, yeah, you heard me flame you the first 20 minutes of the game. I'm not like I don't sugarcoat shit. But if you literally compare these last 3 minutes to the last first 20 minutes, it's a completely different play. You hit all three ults. You instantly ulted. You ghosted no hesitation. Um, I don't know. Everything's great. I have no idea what the fuck what just happened. You got another bot tower. Now you get to base on full large rod. Here I would go Shadow Flame next. Just like again, keep going the full AP route. So instead of buying that, I would buy just another large rod straight up. They have no MR, so if you can base on and you're solo AP, so if you could get Shadow Flame early, you will literally just one shot them. And you saw these last couple of fights where you don't need resistances. Look how fast you killed the Aphelios. One ult, one auto, two ult, one auto, one Q. Two autos, two ults, one Q. And it was a small Q too. Like you literally one shot people, right? If we go back to this fight, this one on Aphelios, where was it? Look how fast you kill this Aphelios here. No ult, which is your strongest thing. One auto, two auto, three auto, four auto, a single, boom, four autos in the queue. That's it. That's all killed him, right? This is pre-death cap. So you have to understand. This is a perfect example of what I mean by Gwen. A lot of times it's better to do damage than to build resistances because you're literally one-shotting squishies. Like it's completely one-shotting them. So these, you see how these boots like this Aphelios autoed you what like less than three times, and both times you kill them. You're just the job is kill them before they kill me, right? That's why in this case, why I fuck tier 3 boots, just build another large rod. And now instead of killing the Phyllis at 4 autos in the queue, you're going to kill him in 2 autos in the queue. It's going to be like insane, right? Okay, let's watch this fight. And then I don't know, we just went backwards again, missing first 2 ults again. And look, if you literally just hit one extra ult on Gwen, on Jax, instead of missing both, if you got one extra ult, he's dead right now. One extra ult. Look, he's 300 HP. One of your ults would have killed him. You get two of them, right? And then he dies, and then boom, you could pull Baron, and then you could start killing this gas. But now you get stunned by Jax, and then you get Teemo thing. Now Jax lives, and then you die. So it's again this ult shit. And this is another perfect example. Look at all the damage you took, by the way. Look at this. It's 85% of it was magic. Look at the Jax bar. Look, it's more blue than red. You see? Like all the damage you're taking is magic, right? So imagine here instead of fuck. I'm not saying buy have mercs instead. I'm saying imagine you spent zero money on boots, right? You only have 300 pairs. This is now 900 plus the power. This is 1,400 boots, right? So you spent $900 on empowering the boots. $900 right now is a blasting wand, or again, fuck the cloth armor. It's a large rod. You think with even with missing two ult. My mic disconnected. Even with both ults you missed, this guy lived at 300 HP. If you had a large rod instead of tier 3 boots, he still's dead. 266 HP. Still dead just with the one ult and the one Q, he still dies to that, right? If you have just an extra large rod. So imagine that you can miss two full ults and still kill these people. You see, this is just why the itemization matters so much, right? But yeah, this is obviously a really bad death because now the enemy team gets Baron off it. So this is like obviously game losing. You lose Baron, and that's a really easy way to lose the game. So I think it really is just building full damage and making sure you're not missing your ults. That is like all that matters. Alright, let's watch this fight. Pop Ghost. Boom. One shot. Perfect. This is a good fight again. because you just landed your ult, so he dies. Like that's all it is. Look at this Conquer, 700 healing. Before this fight, it was 460. So you see how you heal 240 HP, just from Conquer. And again, the more damage you do, the more Conquer healing works. That's just how it works. Here, I think you did a Q3. If you got one more auto off, Q4 would be a bit better, but it's fine. If you always want, and you know you're gonna go in here, you could just start. You could start prepping it. Just start autoing the minion once or twice to get Q2, and then when you ghost, you're gonna auto them twice and then Q4, and the Q4 and two auto skills. So a lot of times before, you can just prep the auto now and then ghost them. Because here, the fact that you have to auto them all three times for it, and you saw you were scared of that you wouldn't kill them in time, so you had to Q3. Obviously, if you Q4, it'd be even more damage, and then Jax would die to it as well instead of having to be terrified that he runs away. So prepping auto is a really big Gwen thing. Let me just go forward to the next team fight. Okay, let's watch this. Miss ult again. Finally hit ult. It just missing 2 minutes. Like it's again, I know it's probably annoying to hear me repeat the same shit, but it's not like your pathing's a problem. It's not your other mechanics, your spacing, your Qs. Like another like three. This was the fourth fight this game or something where you would literally win the fight if you just hit one more ult or two more ults. And it's just quick cast, normal cast where again you just your cursor just isn't on him. You know, it's not that this guy's has some crazy movement. He's literally running in a straight fucking line. We're just missing. You know. Uh, that's it. I have nothing else to say. It's just you're missing your ult. That shouldn't be missable. It's not a Nidalee spear, you know. Your first one slows them. I know some Gwen players go red smite just to increase the ult slow, just to guarantee that they don't miss, because it's so important not to miss your ult. So if you should try that. I think blue smite's good on Gwen. I'm just saying if you want, you should try red smite on Gwen just to see if that makes it easier for you. Because especially with Ghost, you're already so fast that sometimes blue smite is a bit overkill. You're using your E on nothing. Like you E here, but obviously you eat on Jax, you can actually stack it up. I think here if you had E, you'd be able to E forward, have the empowered autos, but here you're just doing regular autos. So I think that's another thing is making sure that when you go in, you have your E up. So here, I think you just don't have E. That's the big thing here. You just can't chase him without E. Because even if you had E, look how low he got. And you autoed him twice. If you autoed him three times plus, he would just be lower from the empowered autos. And obviously when you get E, you also have increased attack speed. So instead of was it a Q2 you did? 1, 2. It's Q2, yeah. I think if with the increased attack speed from your E, you'd be able to get 3 autos at least, and then that would kill him. Not only would your autos do more damage, but your Q would do more damage. So you just need to make sure you're waiting for your E to come back up before you run in. I think literally every single fight we watch this game has been completely winnable if you just play it either prepping a Q, or you land your ult, or you don't run in without your E, or you wait for your ghost to come back up. I haven't seen a single team fight that wasn't winnable, or fight that you lost that wasn't like could have won if you just played it mechanically slightly better. Well, that's so you could take so that's like in that way this is a good loss because it's the losses that suck are the games where you look at them and you're like, man, I don't think there's anything I could have done to win this game. Those suck, right? You just feel powerless. But these are the good losses where like, yeah, it sucks that you lost, but it's also comforting to know that you can, if you get better at something, these games that were lost can easily be winnable. You know. Did you have ghost at the start? No, it just came back up. Even though we talked about how Jax counters you, I think it's important that when you get to this point late in the game as Gwen, when you have like Death Cap and you have like 3 core Death Cap, Riftmaker, Nashers, and then you even start building Void component. Um, it's important to know that even someone with 300 MR tank, this guy doesn't have that much. He only has 149. But let's say even if he had 300 MR, because of Gwen's true damage and her Q, she can still one-shot any tank in the game. So I think a lot of times if it's hard to chase someone down because you don't have Ghost yet, or they're spacing you well, just full hit the Jax. You may be like, oh, but his E's cancels my autos. At this point, you don't even need your E's. If you could just you have Q stack, you have your full, I mean, at this point you have your Q fully stacked. I think 3 of your ults, which are unmissable at this range. It's missable here, but it's unmissable on Jax because he's literally hitting you. All 3 ults and just a single 4Q, I think it kills him through his MR. I'm not even kidding. We can go to a practice tool if you want. We could get a target on me with this much HP and this much MR, and we'll see if going with these items can kill it. I think so. At the very least, again, his E doesn't go on forever. So when the E does drop, then you will get your empowered autos again, and then it'll kill. So a lot of times, again, preferably kill this guy. But if he's spacing or playing his range, you don't have Ghost to chase him. just hit the tank in front of you and low key. It's not even if you can't kill him. A lot of times you saw the conquer healing, you'll just heal off of them, and you'll actually survive better by just hitting the guy that's more in front of you. So yeah, no, I think it's super winnable games. You have to play these fights better. Because you saw you barely hit this. Let's see how much you hit this Jax. You got like half his HP off. I don't think you're even trying to hit him. Let's see. Yeah, R2 on the Aphelios. Yeah, you weren't even trying to hit this thing. You barely hit him with your ult, and you like hit him with like the first part of your Q, and he's already basically half HP. So imagine if you did all three ults on him, and instead of queuing Aphelios, you full Q Jax. I think this guy literally just dies. And the thing is, because of Gwen W, this Aphelios can't even hit you if you because he's out of your range. And if he does walk into your range, then you could turn on the Aphelios, right? So I think you also have to use your W better. So you W'd right now, but Aphelios isn't even auto range to hit you. This isn't even auto. His auto range is like this, right? So you shouldn't even W. You should just be 1v1ing Jax, and then the second Aphelios gets in the auto range, then you W, and then he can't auto you. So you're actually just forced to this thing. If you're like, I don't know if you're new to league. If you're an old league player, this is like season 5, season 4. This is like old Poppy ult. Like right now, by Wing, you're basically, even though it's a 2v1, you're basically forcing it to be 1v1 with Jax because Aphelios is just too far to auto you. And then when he does get in range, you're just Wing, so he still can't auto you. You know. So I think you could have 1v1 Jax before Philios gets a single auto off on you, and then you'll just 1v1 the Philios because he'll be by himself, and he has no one to peel for him or kite for him, or CC you, and then you this game. So I know, super winnable game. It's a lot of mechanics to go over. So hopefully that helps. So if you have any questions, just message me on Discord. It's Chad Jungle on Discord.